What's going on YouTube? Today's video we're doing our very first smartphone review. So NUU went ahead and sent out their brand new B40 5G. We're going to take a look at it in this video. So this is my very first smartphone I'm ever going to review, so I want to do it right. I spent a lot of time with this phone so I can give you guys the best possible results, giving you real world test scenarios and giving you a real review. Let's jump straight into it. First, we're going to start off with the unboxing experience. So when you're unboxing it for the first time, you have the packaging itself in this little thin black box. You open it up, you have the smartphone on the right. You also have a charging brick, which is 30 watts of power. So this is able to charge fast at 33 watts. You also do get a USB-C to C charging cable, a SIM ejector tool. You get the phone itself, which is really nice. This does come with a screen protector pre-applied on it, so you don't have to worry about getting a tempered glass or a screen protector immediately. It comes with everything, including a case. Yeah, it comes with a case, which I really like about these types of phones. They come with pretty much everything you need. You don't have to buy another case immediately. You just have it all on day one. So let's take a look at the design. Now this is actually something that's really shocking because number one, this looks obviously modern day with a twist on the dual displays. Now that's the main selling point. It does have a Vista Display, which is an AMOLED screen, 1.4 inches in length. So it's a pretty small screen, but it's able to give you a lot of information such as date, time. You can access the photos and video and camera and everything else like that and take pictures directly from the back cameras, which is a huge upgrade. You can play your music. You have a compass on there as well. And you can also have your notifications. So whenever you have the screen face down, you can actually see notifications and everything from the back, which is super helpful because I don't usually have it faced up. I have it face down so you can see all that information. As of right now, they only have about 10 different wallpapers that you could choose from. You could choose it directly from the back itself. You just press and hold and you can go ahead and swipe between all of them. Or you could just go into the settings and change it yourself. In the settings, you can also change the brightness. You could change the wake feature. You could double tap to press to wake up or turn off. And there's a bunch of other settings you can do within, settings. In terms of the back design, you do have, two cameras and this huge bar, which it's a little chunky, of course, but it has to fit the display somehow. It has a 64 megapixel main camera as well as a 2 megapixel macro lens. So whenever you're doing macro photography, it's going to help a little bit better. It also does HDR and it has AI integration when it comes to boosting up the saturation, the color texture. It'll basically edit your photos without you needing to edit them yourself. So, it's an option. So if you want to use it, it's there. And you also do have your LED flashlight, which is a cooler tone. So it's not like a daylight white, it's more of a cooler tone, which is, in terms of the back, it is a matte finish. And this is technically like a blue grayish color. They say it's a gray, but it looks kind of blue in some angles of light. Looks gray in others. Now, if you guys made it this far, I really appreciate if you dropped a like on the video. Videos like this take a lot of time, money, and effort in order to create, and I would appreciate if you dropped a like. You don't have to subscribe. If you want to, it's right down there. Let's jump back into the video. So it just kind of depends on, and that's just from the back end. When you look at it from the front, the main display is 6.7 inches. It's an AMOLED display, 120 hertz. It gets up to 1100 nits of brightness, which is really good for outdoors and everything like that. I had no issues when it came to the brightness because it looks absolutely amazing. Super stunning, super vibrant, great viewing angles because this has like an edge-to-edge display. It even has like a little water drop design, which from my perspective, it looks great, but sometimes you'll have accidental presses or accidental swipes, but I don't mind that, honestly. It looks really good and I prefer it over just a regular flat screen. So this has more screen to body ratio as opposed to something like my iPhone, which is my daily driver. I find myself using this one to not only watch content, but play games, have fun with the phone, because that's literally what I'm doing with the phone. I have a bunch of games on here, such as Clash Royale. We did Clash Royale, we did Subway Surfers, we did Call of Duty, we did Castle Clash, which is one of my favorite games, and we even did testings on Roblox. In terms of media, we did Crunchyroll, YouTube, and then we also did Spotify, if you want to count that as media entertainment. But we did a bunch of different things. We'll get into the audio as well. I would say this is probably one of the best games to try out to see whether it's good for the speed on the phone. And I think it's doing a decent job. It is stuttering a little bit, but because of how fast we're going per second breaking a block, it's generating a bunch of stuff, and then we could sell, and it teleports. I think this is one of the perfect games to actually tell whether or not it's performing good. This does have an aluminum edge border, so it's going to be a little bit more secure when you're dropping it. If you were to drop it, it's going to be a little bit more better protected, especially since this is plastic. You don't have to worry about the back cracking or anything like that, so replacements are not going to be expensive when it comes to this. Now I'm going to give you my overall rundown for the performance. So when we were playing games, when we were watching YouTube and everything like that, there wasn't really much stuttering or lagging or anything. It's kind of hard to make that lag and stutter like the old Android phones, like from 10, 15 years ago. Android phones rarely lag nowadays. So even with cheaper processors, it's really hard for a phone to lag because the OS and the optimization for these phones specifically are meant to be handled really well. And this has 8 gigabytes of RAM, but you can also just download more RAM. It's perfect for everyday use because 8 gigabytes of RAM on a phone is just perfect amount. It's able to even handle multitasking, which I don't normally do, but it's nice to actually test out and just do, just in case you want to like take notes while watching a video or etc. When it comes to the camera, obviously, like I mentioned, 64 megapixels, so you're getting better details in terms of performance. Even in low light, this does have night mode because it's on the Google OS, so it's helping with the engine. It's not as good as a Google Pixel, but it is really good when it comes to just taking pictures overall. Obviously, it's not there, so we're not gonna praise the camera, but it does take pictures. Let's just say that. It takes pictures. And the fact that you're able to take pictures selfie-wise on the back camera instead of the front, you have no issues whatsoever. In terms of recording, this goes up to 2K. So 2K 60 FPS, I believe. And the image stabilization, as well as you can do macro in video as well. You could play and pause, and you could do dual capture as well with the OS. So this has dual video capture, meaning I could do both at the same time. Now we're actually listening to the actual recording off of the phone itself, so you can move it around however you want. This is a feature on the iPhone 17 models, the Pros, even though it's just software. There's no issues when it came to video work. I actually found the microphones on this to be really good. If you were to vlog or use this as a daily driver for content creation, I started off with a cheap phone, like $100 free phone from Cricket Wireless, so I could still technically make content off of this and I'll be perfectly fine. So if you want to make content off this, like a phone that's cheap, this is where you can start. You don't have to buy a $1,000 phone. You can buy something like this. It'll get the job done for sure for like the cloud, and then it'll start using up the internal storage, which has 256 gigabytes. And that's kind of hard to actually use because my iPhone only has 128. So you're getting double the storage, which is really nice. Now, in terms of battery and charging speeds, we did testings on the drain test as well as the charge test. This has a 5,000 milliamp battery, giving me on average about 7 hours. Sometimes I'll get 8 hours, sometimes I'll get less. It just depends on what I'm doing, how much brightness I'm using, if I'm using the speakers, if I'm doing any type of heavy load on the chip itself. Obviously it'll decrease, but if I'm not doing as much, if I'm only like texting or browsing or just light work, then it'll be a little bit higher. So, or if I have the brightness lower, or especially if you have the 120 hertz turned down to like 90 hertz or 60 hertz. I have it on 120 hertz during the entire testing, and I'm still able to get about 7 hours on average. And in terms of the charging speed, we're able to get at 30 watts, because this is able to charge at 30 watts with the power included, power adapter, or you can do 33 watts if you have like a GAN charger. You're able to charge 50% in about 28 minutes, which is really, really good. So for a quick charge, you'll pretty much have all day battery in about 20 to 30 minutes. And it'll last like another 4 to 5 hours. Performance daily. So I am using the Fingerprint display since it does have that. It is a little bit finicky. Obviously, it's not super fast or instant like higher end models, but it's really nice to have because I've never experienced it. The Fingerprint display, it's just cool to have. The Face ID is actually faster than the fingerprint unlock. So just an FYI. There's no eSIM supported, which is unfortunate. And here are the list of all of the supported carriers for this phone. In terms of the speaker, there's only one. So it's a mono speaker on the bottom, downward facing. There's no stereo speaker on the top. It's not going to sound the greatest in terms of immersion, especially when you're watching like shorts or like any type of content. Just got this in the mail for day 30 on how much free stuff you could actually get. Today is the last day Now, a bunch of my packages actually got delayed, so I wasn't able to get it.
This is a good window breaker.
And there's no headphone jack. Not even on the top. There could have been room for it, but there's none. So that's a bummer, because I really like using headphone jack, but you can technically just use the USB-C adapter like we use with iPhone. But anyways, that's pretty much my overall review. I love this phone. I've still been using it daily, like absolutely daily. In terms of speed for even just when I'm on Wi-Fi, it's really good. Everything about it, it works perfectly fine. I would buy it if I were you guys. I know it will go on sale. I know the early bird sale was about $200, and right now on Amazon there's a coupon for $50 off, so you can get it for $250, which if you could get it at $250 or even $200, that's a huge deal right there. And this was my first review on this phone, so hopefully I answered any questions that you guys have. I'll leave them in the comments down below, and I'll answer any of you guys' questions. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. We out.